Mikah, are you going to start now?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you introduce yourself to some people who don't know?
Okay, so hi, good morning. My name is Mikah. I am an A2 student currently studying here at William Morris, and I am studying A2 Chemistry, A2 History, AS Biology. Now, the basis of my extended project qualification was on the basis of how music affects the brain, the power of music. And the reason why I chose this particular area is because to me, music is something very significant in my life. From a very young age, unfortunately, wasn't able to have private lessons. So through my love of music, I wanted to learn, and I was given a keyboard by my cousins, and simply just watching tutorials on YouTube, I managed to expand my knowledge more, and this really enhanced my self-motivation skills, my independent skills, and through that I was able to use it and apply it. So in applying it at school, I did music GCSE, and through that we were able to compose our own compositions as well as learn new elements of music as well, like basic theory as well. And through this, I kept on expanding my knowledge, and I was really enjoying myself. At church, I was able to train as an organist, and my dear auntie who is sat here, she was the one who really trained me, who really expanded my knowledge on every theory and how musical notation is very important, how one little mark, one breath note or one rest, one beat is so significant in being there to show how the music should be presented, how it should be delivered and explained, so that it can really be delivered in the way in which it's supposed to. So through this, I really wanted to look at more at the psychological effects, more on the significance of how the theory of music, how the elements combine together in order to create that emotional attachment with music. So in doing this, one of my resources was Musicophilia by Oliver Sacks, who is a psychiatrist as well as a musician, and he says that music occupies more of our brain than language does. And I think that really is a key point in the fact that music, something that is just there on an everyday basis, is something that really speaks to our mind, really speaks to our emotions and feelings. And I think that was very important. So in going about the research, as I said, I already had my musical background, but in doing this, I didn't really have the power to know the scientific theory behind it. So in doing this, I had to look at a few books. So one was Musicophilia, as I previously stated, and one was by Anthony Storr, who wrote Music and the Mind, who is also a psychiatrist and a musician. And he really did expand my knowledge on the emotional factor, on how music does have that personal relationship within us. And as well as this, I also looked at experiments. So I looked at articles based on in the US, where they did scientific research on music related to exercise. And therefore, I was able to see other factors in which music can help us in everyday life. So in talking about brief sections of my essay, so the first section was the scientific power, like how music can be a natural drug of happiness. And when I say drug of happiness, I mean it's something so addictive to us. So in going about my research, I found out that, through the intricate patterns, through the sound waves combining together, automatically our brain responds and secretes a chemical called dopamine. Now, dopamine is something that gives us that satisfaction, gives us that rewarding hope of happiness, and automatically it tells us that we want more of it. So through that, when we have a dopamine surge, we want more of it. So therefore we listen to more music because we want it. It gives us that happiness, it gives us that reward of satisfaction. So therefore, individuals use that as a drug of happiness because it makes them feel good. As well as this, music also has that power to affect that emotional region within us. So therefore this automatically shows the personal attachment that we might have to a particular song, that it will give us that relationship personally. It might relate to something that how we're feeling at that particular day or particular moment. And I think most especially when it might reminisce memories. For example, a piece of music could have been played at a certain place at a certain time, and it will give us back that memory. And I think that's very important in the fact that simply listening to a piece of music can give us that really good relationship between something that we're feeling. So as well as this, another section that was most important in my essay was how music can be a substitute to artificial medicine. I mean, I know in the modern day world we have a lot of research going about in terms of looking for medicines in order to cure diseases. And Musicophilia was one of the books which really explored individual patients' experience through listening to music. That it was proven to reduce stress. It was proven to reduce blood pressure. It was proven to, calm the minds of people who are suffering through a particular illness. And I think that's very important. Something that's not artificial, that we don't have to take. Simply just turning on that piece of music that we love, that gives us that nice calmness, automatically help those patients. And I think that was something that really spoke to me as well. I think was very important and very helpful in terms of how we can use it as a substitute to artificial medicine. In relation to this, in reducing stress, in schools, I think most importantly that the fact that, students are having a lot of obligations to fulfill. They have their managing their subjects, managing exams. And it was proven that, simply having a small little reflection time, simply listening to a bit of calm, peaceful, slow music would help relieve the minds of those students and most especially help them to manage to maintain their subjects and think more onto what to do. And as well as this, music has the ability for us to absorb information. So music is used for us to learn stuff. So you can go from when you're a young kid listening to the ABC song. So simply by an infant listening to the ABC song, they were able to recall all the letters of the alphabet. And then from there, you can go on to, say, the periodic table song. So you can, by that, students were able to remember all the 118 elements of the periodic table, simply because of the fact that the words synchronize with the beats of the song. And this allows them to recall the information easily by simply singing the song. And then onto this, I also looked at exercise efficiency. How music can be that energizing supplement without you having to take in anything artificial. So through this, it was proven through the US article that I read that cyclists were able to cycle more faster listening to an upbeat song than a cyclist who wasn't listening to music. And this is all down to the fact of the fast tempo. So the fast tempo of the song that you're listening to synchronizes with their movement. So as they follow the tempo of the song, this allows them to exert more effort, exert more exertion, and therefore improve their performance. So altogether, this really helps the athletes to improve their performance without them knowing that they could have done more than they could before without listening to music. So I think that was a very crucial point. Now lastly, what I explored was music being involved in culture. Culture is very important to individuals, and it has been in many periods of time. So I think in terms of culture, it is very personal to someone. It is your identity. So therefore, music is used in special occasions of a particular culture. It could be done by the type of song that they're singing for that occasion, the type of native instruments that are being used. And I think that was very important in exploring that fact of how music is involved in that important significance of someone's identity. And in relation to myself, in church, when I play the organ, I play for the kids as well. I really want to implement how important it is that the kids understand what they're singing, understand what is being played, in order for the church aspect to have that essence of love and spiritual unity. So in that factor, it was very important in acknowledging that and implying that how music plays a very significant role. Now, through this, so altogether, I was able to explore the beneficial factors of music, as well as emotions. Now, I composed a piece of music, and through this, I want you to, when it's being played, I just want you to close your eyes, and then I will ask you how you're feeling after. So, and then at the end, I will play it to you as well. So if you could close your eyes, so that we can just focus on the sound and nothing around us. can open your eyes. So, so I'll ask each of you if you would.
The first one.
Okay. So I'm going to ask each of you how you felt and if you saw a change. So go with Rory first.
Yeah, the first one was made me a bit kind of like emotional, and then, well, yeah, the second one is more upbeat.
Okay. So April.
First one sad and happy again.
Okay. So Tanti.
I'm
Yeah.
included. Okay. The first one, I like the dynamics. You have the full expression, yeah. And the second one is a bit rocky or majesty. So there is a big difference between the two. So there's a good relation when there's a connection when playing in the church, but with the full expression to every individual, from the children to adults. I love it.
Thank you, Auntie. Mom.
It's just what you have explained to us, that listening to music can bring your emotions. I shed a tear the first one, and then as soon as you start the second one, I'm smiling.
Petra.
Yeah, the first one I thought it's meditative, like you can, the second one is agitating, I thought kids might start running about and jumping about.
Yeah, I thought it was a good illustration of your talk, because you saw the different emotions that, or feelings that music can bring out in you. So appealing to different kinds of parts of the human brain or the different, human experience. So I thought it was very good illustration.
And the first one I found actually quite peaceful, whereas the other one is like more joyful and like jumpy.
So there you go. We can already see the difference, and already it's all similar because that's how it's responding. And this is the combination of the elements of music. So, for example, in the first one, I used minor chords, which are the black keys. So
Can you play that chord, please?
yeah, so it's like this. So it goes. Of the broken chords. So broken chords. So this is a chord, for instance. It's played like 2 or more notes together. But if it's broken, you play single notes. And through that, it makes that essence of flowing. So the music is flowing, more relaxing, more calming, and also creates that sense of peacefulness as well as a bit of emotion.
What is it called that when you play a chord but one tune at a time, one single note at a time?
So I call it broken chord.
Broken chord. I think there's another name on the guitar. Like when you're playing same chord but playing one string at a time. This is something I forgot what it's called.
Legato.
I used to use
Legato.
Legato. Legato.
legato,
No,
yeah.
legato. No, legato is continuous.
Is that in
But it's
guitar?
Legato is continuous.
Oh.
So it's playing one at a time but it's continuous.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but in
But
piano,
in piano maybe
we
it's
use
called broken
broken chords.
guitars. Yeah.
And then for the second one, so the second one was more upbeat, as some of you said. It's more faster tempo. So happy songs are that kind of upbeat, jumpy, and I use staccato notes in the beginning, which are those short ones like this. And also, in doing a happy song, you use major chords. So you use more of the white keys because they're more lighter, and it gives it that bouncy feel. And so, through the elements of music, it really shows how, nowadays writers, how songwriters write their song, how they compose them for a particular emotion that they want to express. So so altogether, in doing this project, I was able to really expand my knowledge more on something that I really, really love, and all the more show the amazing factors of music.
Right. So I've got a few questions for you. Right. Now you compose this piece.
Yeah.
What do you want to do with this project further? Or where are you going to go from here with this project?
So, like I've shared it with all of you, you know, I would love to share it even more to other people. I think it's really important to show that music should not be taken for granted. It's not just something you listen to on the train or the bus. It actually has a meaning to it, and you know, it triggers our personal emotions.